If you own your home, Centrelink already sees you differently than your renting neighbour. Same age, same super balance, same bank account. But one of you could be getting hundreds of dollars less every fortnight. And most people don't find out why until it's too late to fix it. Welcome back to Centrelink Age Pension, the channel where we cut through the confusing rules and show you exactly what Services Australia doesn't put in plain English. If you're new here, hit subscribe, because today we're breaking down a trap that catches out thousands of Australian retirees every single year, and it's called the home ownership trap. Stick around till the end, because I'm going to show you 3 strategies that could genuinely protect your pension. So here's the question nobody really explains properly. Does owning your home hurt your age pension, or does it help it? The honest answer is both. And which one applies to you depends entirely on understanding how Centrelink's assets test actually works. Let's start with the basic rule, because this is the part almost everyone gets right. Your principal home, the actual house or unit you live in, is not counted as an asset under the age pension assets test. That part is good news. You could own a home worth $2 million in Sydney or Melbourne, and Centrelink will not count 1 cent of that value against you. But here's where it gets interesting, and where the trap starts to form. Because you own that home, Centrelink classifies you as a homeowner. And homeowners are given a much lower asset threshold than non-homeowners. In other words, the very fact that you own a home, even though the home itself isn't assessed, means everything else you own gets judged against a stricter limit. Let me give you the actual numbers, because this is where it really hits home, no pun intended. From the 1st of July 2026, a single homeowner can have assessable assets, that's things like supers, savings, shares, investment properties, and cars, up to around $321,500 before their pension starts reducing. A single non-homeowner, someone renting or living with family, gets a much higher buffer, up to roughly $579,500 before the same reduction kicks in. That's a gap of over $250,000, purely based on whether you own your front door or not. For couples, the story is similar. Homeowner couples combined can hold assets up to around $481,500, while non-homeowner couples get almost double the threshold, up to $739,500. Now, why does the government do this? The logic is simple on paper. If you own your home outright, you don't have rent to pay, so you supposedly need less in savings to get by. If you're renting, Centrelink assumes you need a bigger financial buffer, and that's part of why non-homeowners are also often eligible for rent assistance on top of their pension. But in practice, this rule creates some genuinely painful situations for real people, and that's the part nobody talks about. Picture this. A couple in their late 60s. They've paid off their family home. They've got $490,000 in superannuation between them, a car, and some savings. Because they own their home, they're sitting right near the edge of the assets test threshold, and their part pension is already reduced. Now picture their neighbor, same age, same super balance, but renting. That neighbor gets a much higher threshold before any reduction applies, and on top of that, may also qualify for rent assistance. 2 people, similar financial position, very different pension outcomes, all because of homeownership status. Here's another version of the trap that catches people out even more. Selling the family home. Maybe you're downsizing, moving into a retirement village, or moving in with family. The moment you sell your home and that money sits in your bank account, it stops being an exempt asset and becomes fully assessable. Suddenly, sale proceeds that were completely protected while they were bricks and mortar are now counted dollar for dollar against your pension. There is a temporary exemption, generally up to 24 months, if you're planning to buy, build, or renovate another home with those funds. But if that window closes and you haven't reinvested, your pension can take a serious hit. Then there's the retirement village and granny flat situation, which is honestly one of the most misunderstood areas in the entire pension system. If you move into a retirement village and pay less than a certain amount for your entry contribution, Centrelink can actually classify you as a non-homeowner, even though you're living in what feels like your own home. From the 1st of July 2026, that threshold, known as the extra allowable amount, sits at $267,000. Pay below that figure for your entry contribution, and Centrelink treats your remaining assessable assets under the higher non-homeowner threshold. Pay above it, and you're assessed as a homeowner. That single number can shift your pension by a significant amount, and most retirement village sales staff are not the ones who are going to walk you through the Centrelink implications. So what can you actually do about all of this? Let's go through 3 strategies that financial counselors and retirement specialists commonly point people toward. Now, I want to be upfront. None of this is personal financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and your situation is unique. So please treat this as general information to take to a licensed advisor or a free Centrelink Financial Information Service appointment. Strategy number 1, understand exactly where you sit against the threshold before you make any big decision. A lot of people sell an investment property or cash in shares without realizing they're about to push themselves over the assets test line. Before you sell anything, downsize anything, or move anything, get a clear picture of your current assessable assets against the current thresholds. Small decisions made without this information can cost thousands of dollars a year in lost pension. Strategy number 2, think carefully before selling the family home to fund other investments. Because your home is exempt from the assets test, sometimes putting money into your home, through renovations for example, can actually reduce your assessable assets and increase your pension, whereas selling and investing the proceeds elsewhere does the opposite. This is a genuinely counterintuitive part of the system. Spending money on your exempt home can sometimes help your pension more than saving that same money in the bank. Strategy number 3. If you're considering a retirement village or a granny flat arrangement, get the numbers checked against the extra allowable amount before you sign anything. This single figure determines whether you're treated as a homeowner or non-homeowner going forward, and it can be the difference between a full pension and a significantly reduced one. Don't rely on the village's marketing brochure. Get independent advice or check directly with Centrelink. Here's the bigger point I want you to walk away with today. The age pension isn't just about how much money you have. It's about how that money is structured. And homeownership status is one of the single biggest structural factors in the entire system. 2 people with the exact same net worth can end up with completely different pension outcomes simply because of what column Centrelink puts them in. That's not something most retirees are warned about until they're already deep into retirement. And by then, some of the easiest opportunities to plan around it have already passed. If this video helped clear something up for you, that's exactly why this channel exists. Every week we take one confusing piece of the age pension system and break it down in plain English. No jargon, no fine print buried in a 50-page PDF from Services Australia. If you found this useful, do 3 things for me. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown, because next week we're covering exactly how gifting rules can quietly reduce your pension without you even realizing it. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped, because it genuinely helps this channel reach more retirees who need this information. And drop a comment below telling me your situation. Are you a homeowner, a renter, or thinking about downsizing? Because I read every single comment and it helps me figure out what to cover next. Thanks so much for watching Centrelink Age Pension. I'll see you in the next one.